Well, I tried to save this thing, but unfortunately this motor won't fit. This motor's on its last legs. It still works, but it sounds like absolute trash. So the commutator on this is definitely seen some better days. This vacuum very likely was run with the original filters throughout its whole life cycle, and it's pretty much done for. It still works, as I was saying, but it's definitely far from perfect, and you can hear some bearing growling. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna abuse this thing, and then I'm gonna scrap it, cut the cord off, and take the motor out of it, put it in my scrap bin. So before we destroy this thing, I wanted to show you guys how cheap and junky these are. And for those of you who, for some reason, like these cheap-ass vacuums, I don't know what to tell you other than buy a better vacuum. These things are sold to be disposable. They're not meant to last a long time. And honestly, they're seldom worth fixing. Which again, this is, you know, what the customer wants the majority of the time. But this is a brand new belt. I just put that on thinking this thing was going to be worth saving. But obviously it's not. So I still have the old belt. We're just going to loop this one on and reinstall all of this. But yeah, these vacuums were never meant to be good. They're meant to sell somebody who just wants a cheap vacuum, and they likely believe that any vacuum is a good vacuum, like most people unknowingly believe. And I admit I was one of those people too at one point, until I realized that there's far better vacuums out there, and there actually is a difference between a $45 machine and a $250 machine. So it's got a really tiny brush roll, and my main issue with this is that it doesn't have an actual wheel axle. And I know why they did that. They did it to save space, because the whole form factor of this machine, it doesn't really allow for wheels to be installed on it, which is honestly okay for the reasoning why they did it. I would be very hesitant to use this thing on any surface but carpet, because that's going to scratch up hardwood floors. It's going to make a lot of racket on any sort of hard floor, hard surface, tile, whatever. So yeah, these things were sold to me at a price point. They're meant to be thrown away at the end of the yet again, it should obviously go without saying, don't try this at home. little bit of cheating and reuse this water. Is the filter. Yeah, it's overly saturated with water. We'll just run it without it. Should work. So back on the workbench of justice. And this thing is not plugged in right now, by the way. But we're going to disassemble it. And to see just what kind of shape this thing's in now. Oh yeah, she's logged with water. So, toss that. We're going to pull the motor cover off, so I have to get in there anyways. Alright, so going to be pulling that off. Sacrificial snap-ons. So that's a good short cord. Keep that. Well, the commutator is definitely a lot cleaner. Ooh. Yeah, this whole motor is just soaked. But it actually polished up the commutator pretty well. I still wouldn't use water though to polish a commutator, just saying. Probably not the best of ideas, but yeah, I think this thing's about had it. So there you go. No flames or fires, unfortunately, but it's good enough for me. If you guys enjoyed this video on this piece of junk, stay tuned for more.